I love that kind of tree. It's so cool. I think it's a willow tree, but I'm not really sure. I don't know. I wish I knew more about trees. Anyways, guys, welcome back to another video. Today, we are, well, someone said I was a wigger the other day, so I'm playing into it with the whole bandana thing. So, whatever. I'll be whatever you want me to be. Anyways, today, we are talking about Jen. Jen didn't want to do a debate with me. She didn't want to come on my platform. Jen, I'm disappointed in you. Guys, I just saw a post the other day, or actually earlier today. A good idea does not mind being questioned. A bad idea does not like being challenged. If you have a good idea, you should tell it to everyone, right? And you wouldn't mind if someone who has an opposing view challenges you a little bit, right? If it's a good idea, yeah. It'll survive the being challenged, or it'll morph into a better idea by the end of the conversation. Now, Jen didn't want to come on to my YouTube channel and debate with me why I think, why this Instacart, everyone delete their Instacart on October 16th is a bad idea. Guys, we've seen these strikes before. You don't strike as a gig worker. You're getting gig jobs. Employees strike, gig workers don't strike. It's just the truth. If you are a gig worker, you don't have rights. You're not an employee. There's only so much you can really do. You can try to make a lot of noise, but if it's a bad idea in the end, it's not going to survive. It's not. So, I'm just a little disappointed in Jen not wanting to come onto my channel and discuss this whole thing. Guys, when I had Bentley Coupon, everyone thought it was going to be like me and Bentley yelling at each other and stuff. No, it was a pretty civil conversation. We got through the whole thing. We met on middle ground of tons of things. We found the common ground between both of our arguments, and it was a civil conversation. And I think a lot of people watched it and liked that interview that I had with him. Jen's idea probably isn't the greatest idea, otherwise she would want to come on my platform and discuss why she thinks it's a good idea and not be worried about me pointing out some chinks in this armor that this idea. Okay, for one, look, if there's a YouTuber who has 11,000 subscribers telling you should delete your Instacart app, guys, you should take this with a grain of salt. She makes enough money on YouTube to get by. She can delete the app, no problem. But maybe Johnny or Jim or whoever just got Instacart and is not happy with the pay model, but needs to do Instacart to make enough money to get by. Now what happens when Johnny or Jim or Mark or whoever deletes that app? Maybe they're not able to get back on. Maybe Instacart's like, okay, we'll just kind of get rid of these guys who wanted to go on strike or something and just keep the guys who appreciate the app more, right? Or you have to take everything she says with a grain of salt, because she makes enough money to get by on YouTube. There's people who are going to try to get your view. I'm not going to call out any names, but we are talking about Jen. There's people who try to get their viewers emotional, right? When I was super anti-Doordash and I was all on the Para train trying to get us tip transparency, we made a ton of noise, right? We made a lot of noise. We got hundreds of thousands of people on this Para app demanding tip transparency. Hey guys, we never got it, okay? We're gig workers, right? You are still doing gigs for a company. That's it. You're not employees. But when we made all this noise, it didn't work, right? And I was telling everyone, I was debating people left and right. I had all kinds of people with different views on my channel to discuss this whole tip transparency idea. You don't hide the ideas. Anyways, what I'm getting at, there's two types of creators. There's someone who's going to try to get their viewers emotional, try to collect as many emotional people as possible. The channel's going to do super well. Everyone's going to be complaining. If you look in the comment section, it's a gigantic echo chamber of complaining, Instacart needs to do this, Instacart needs to do that, they need to pay us more. And then you have people who challenge those ideas, and then they're like, that's them. That's the comment section of her YouTube channel. I swear it's ridiculous. It's like the herd mentality. Anyways, okay. So there's people who are going to try to get their viewers all emotional. Let's go on strike. Let's do this. That's how I feel when I look at that comment section. Anyways, and then there's people like me who are going to try to take the long approach, maybe teach you guys how taxes work, how you can get more opportunities, look for different ways of making money, all the long, boring videos that I put out where people are like, I don't want to watch Tanner teach me how taxes work and how to run a business and all this other blah, blah, blah information that I put out. There's two different ways. There's someone who's going to teach with ideas and teach with, like, it's the long, first, like, instead of complaining about something, figure out why it's like that. Figure out why. Look at Instacart's reasoning. Guys, I don't know if this is the first time you've heard this, but Instacart's probably going out of business soon if they don't sell. Instacart's going to get taken over by Doordash and Amazon, and they didn't expand like Doordash did, so they're going to get taken out pretty soon. So guys, if you're only on Instacart, this should be a red flag to you. Like, hey, look out, guys. You might not have a job soon if you don't diversify and get onto different platforms. Instacart's probably, the reason they're doing what they're doing is because the business is not doing well. They're probably cutting people's pay and trying to group all these batches together, the crappy batches with the good batches and stuff, because they're not doing well. They're trying to make enough, like, make the company look profitable and probably just sell it, right? They're probably on the market to sell their company right now. I'm sure of it. So guys, if you're on Instacart, this should be a red flag to you. Like, hey, get onto different platforms, look for different ways of making money. Don't just sit on there. Anyways, I just feel like I was just super disappointed that I thought Jen, who seems like she's pretty well read, seems like a pretty smart woman, would come on the platform and discuss why they think this should happen. And I don't know, it just seems like a great conversation that needs to be had, but I guess we're not going to get that because it seems like anyone who's got a bad idea doesn't want their ideas to be challenged. You see this all the time. If it like, who's a good example of this? Okay. Martin Luther King, guys. Martin Luther King, let's think about this. He had a great idea. His idea was that all men were created equal. Great idea, right? Yeah. So he didn't just tell all of his black friends, because of course they would all agree with him, right? They would all agree with him. They would all internally have the same mentality and like, yeah, we should all be created equal. No, he didn't just tell them. He told the whole world. And look what happened to this idea. All men were created equal. Now we're all equal. Some people would argue that, but I think we're all created equal. If he was to just not tell everyone and not be challenged by certain, like, people who had opposing arguments, we would have never gotten to where we are. If you have a great idea, you shouldn't mind that it be challenged. You should try to be challenged. When I have a good idea, like, I'm generally fiscally conservative, if you haven't noticed. I'm the epitome of a capitalist. I've run 4 businesses, and I'm basically the epitome of a capitalist. When I have a good idea, well, what I think is a good idea, I don't call someone up who has the same mentality and ideas as me. I call someone who's the opposite to see what they have to say. I just did this the other day. I was like, hey, I have a great idea. I gotta call my friend who's a producer up, because he is pretty much polar opposite of me when it comes to politics and money and all this stuff and everything, basically. So I called him up and he was like, yeah, that's a good idea. And I was like, but at this, he wasn't just like, that's a good idea. He pointed out all the things of why he thought it was a bad idea. I was like, yeah, you're right. I should morph this idea a little bit, and it'll be like, I wish I could tell you guys, because it's a really, really good show that I'm like trying to put together and get a theater in Vegas. I just told you the idea, but anyways, okay. But the idea of the show is still hidden. Anyways, I thought it was a great idea. I call him up. He was like, yeah, it's a good idea, but this and this and this and this. And I was like, yeah, you're right. We need to work on that one. That's for sure. But anyways, I called someone up who had a different opposing view of me on most things, and we found common ground of what we think will work and what we think won't work. So guys, if you're gonna do this whole like delete your Instacart app, maybe at least like talk to someone who has an opposing view like me. And if it's a great idea, we're going to get through this and we're going to come up with an even better idea. Because not all ideas are great. I hate to break it to you guys. And I also don't think that telling people to delete their app, I don't think that's a good idea. I don't think it's fair. And if you have some naive, I hate to say it, but some of these drivers I see are very naive and might take everything these YouTubers say literally. Like, that's dangerous. And like, they probably won't even click on this video. And if they do, it's like, ah, Tanner's such a shill for Doordash. Ah! I'm already seeing the comments coming in. I'm already seeing the comments in because I don't know. Whatever, it is what it is. Anyways, I just wanted to put my thoughts out there because I was just pretty disappointed that Jen, who I thought was very well read and would want to come on the platform and discuss this whole thing, was just like, nope, I don't want to. You don't drive for Instacart. Well, guess what? I drive for Instacart now. Well, in a couple hours whenever they approve me. But anyways, I'm going to start driving for Instacart, and hopefully then Jen will come on my platform and discuss this. But we got to get it done before October 16th. Instacart, hire me. Anyways, we'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. If you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And also subscribe. I already said that. Subscribe and like the video. We will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Peace.